A quick review here. Firewire makes these LED headlight bulbs, and they were like $130. I got them for my truck. Mine takes the 9003. You can twist this base and change the spread of the light. Oh my God, huge difference. I mean, that's got to be like 3 times brighter, and it's so white. So get the other one in, wait for dark, take them out. Hopefully I don't get flashed down all over the place. Okay, these are the Firewire LED headlights. These are the H4 that I got from my vehicle, which is a Toyota Tacoma. As you can see, they have a little fan in the back that does come on as soon as the headlights are on to cool them. I assume they run pretty hot. They were $130 with shipping and tax and all that, you know, off the Firewire site. This company also makes safety lights for vehicles, fire, police. They have strips, flashing. I'm kind of under the impression that that's their main product, is the safety products, but they do make these headlights. I saw them on a TV show, so I went ahead and got them. They are 8,000 lumens each. Color temperature 65K. They have these, you know, extensions, so it makes it kind of easy to plug it in. I'm sure probably most LEDs do, but this is how I've been running these now for several weeks, and so I have a pretty good idea of you know, how the light is, and they blow away stock halogen headlights. I mean, there's no comparison. The only thing I will say that this might be all LEDs, or it may just be these, but is the high beam throw, and it could have to do with my reflector, but the high beams are still good. They're still probably just as bright as the halogens, but you don't notice the throw distance. Flood on these is fantastic. It's like side to side, almost 180 degrees. The way they work is there's 3 emitters, and the high beam will light, I'm not sure which one of the 3 is the high beam, but the high beam, when you turn on, will light the 3rd emitter. Now, when I put these in my truck the first time, I actually had them upside down. And in my vehicle, they have to go with the cord coming out about at the bottom, kind of comes out on this angle. I had them up, I guess, like this. And when I turned on my high beam, even though it was lighting the top, it was throwing the light down. So that's something to keep in mind, I guess, with any LED. Now, these have, you can twist these in their housing to change the pattern if you need to do that. I haven't had the need to do that. I do notice, though, that when you do change the pattern, this collar is able to come off, whereas if you leave it like that, it's locked in there. Not to say it wouldn't stay, because your clips are pushing the headlight in anyway, so it would probably still be okay, but like I said, in this, the regular way they came is how they've been fine for me. So once I got these figured out, that I had them upside down and I flipped them over, it's actually the LED comes on at the bottom, and that coming on at the bottom throws the light up higher in my vehicle. Okay, so I had mine in backwards. Put them on high beam, and you see the light comes on at the bottom, and coming on at the bottom means it actually is going up. All right, low beam. Not saying that's going to be the same for every vehicle, but that is my vehicle. One peculiar thing I did notice about these is my high beam indicator on my Toyota Tacoma would not work anymore, and I don't know why. And I emailed the company just to ask a question 2 weeks ago, haven't got a response back. So I can't comment on customer, you know, support for this, because if they can't answer an email about a simple question like that, I don't know what kind of support you're going to get. They give you the manual. There's of course, these are my stock ones, as you can see in comparison, the size. Now, with this big base, most vehicles have a rubber boot that will go on to cover your connections. That will not fit. It won't even, I can't even get the plug through the hole, let alone this is not going to fit. So I have to totally forget using these. I'm hoping that this is not going to get affected by moisture, heavy rain. I've been through heavy rain already, and I haven't had any issues yet, so I'm hoping they're okay. But you might not be able to use, you know, your rubber boots in your vehicle anymore. The manual is kind of sparse. Of course, it's a headlight. You put it in your housing, you plug it in, and that's about it. But like I said, the only major thing that you're going to want to keep in mind is the orientation of the light, so that you have your headlights. I will note too, one thing I had to do was I had to crank my adjustments down when I did have these reverse, and I had a test. I had my wife drive in front of me, and she said it was so bright that she could not even look in her rearview mirror at night. It was just ridiculous. So I was afraid I was going to get flashed all the time, flashed down with these lights because they are so bright. And once I adjusted my headlight beam down, what they say basically is, that I've heard, is at 30 foot from like a wall, you want your beam to be about 3 foot up. Okay, about 25 foot from the wall, that's low beams, and that's high beams. Low beams, high beams, much wider than stock headlights, much more floody throw. So I kind of went basically with that setting, and as bright as they are, I haven't got flashed down once yet since I've had these, in the correct orientation. And honestly, the low beam is so bright, I almost forget that I need to turn my high beam on. There's so much light coming out of these things. It's like you don't even really need anymore. It lights up so much. And the high beam, like I said, it doesn't throw. It does raise it up a little bit, but on a really dark road, it's not that noticeable at distance. So, but would I buy them again? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm kind of sad that I waited so long to make the switch, because these things are just, or I would assume any LED is just such an improvement over halogen headlights if that's what you have in your vehicle. And I can't comment on what competitors' lumen ratings are, but like I said, these ones are listed at 8,000 lumens, which is a phenomenal amount of light. So okay, there's low beam LEDs, very wide, floody, very bright. There's high beams. Low beam, high beam. Big improvement over stock. I'm going to give these a thumbs up, even though the customer support for not answering my email, it looks and feels like it's just a well-made product. And I was under the impression that, because they did make other safety lights for police, that it was going to be a reputable company and that the quality was going to be there. So far I'm pretty happy with the purchase.